Well, hello there. This is Susan Hamilton, and you're listening to the Offbeat Business Show. And today I've got Rose Colarossi, who is a really interesting business owner. We've been networking for quite some time now and developed a great friendship. And Rose owns 3 Egg and I restaurants here in the DFW area. And I don't know if Denton's considered DFW area, is it?
It is. Some people will say it's more towards Fort Worth, but we like to consider it part of Dallas.
So we've got Denton, we've got the Knoll Trail,
which is in Addison. It's actually North Dallas, Addison, right on the border. And then we've got West Plano, Carrollton, right at Midway and West Park.
That one's yours, too. All right. Well, no wonder, because all the networking groups that are actually getting something done are using your meeting rooms.
Yeah, they are.
So that's pretty fantastic. You know, if you are a regular listener to the Offbeat Business Show, you have heard Teresa Hunter and I talk about Rose's show, Rose's restaurant, because we are definitely treated well, and we've developed some great relationships there.
Yeah.
In the process, and that's what business is all about.
I think we met the first time at the North Dallas Networking Group that I run out of the Addison location. I think that's the first time, but yeah, a lot of people don't realize that we have these meeting rooms.
Mama Foods, I think, is where you met the first time.
Was it the first time?
That's the first
time.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Egg and I restaurants, the meeting rooms are completely free as long as you order food. And we've got HD TV, free Wi-Fi. We configure the tables any way you want. We put a menu together for you if you'd like. It's a great thing to have, even for baby showers or family reunions. It's just very convenient for people.
It is. Because you don't make any huge requirements on a business owner to have a networking meeting or networking group there.
No, just order food. And typically people are having a breakfast or they're having a lunch meeting, so you're going to order food anyway.
But I really like your staff. I think they're very friendly and very outgoing, and they make everybody comfortable. And they're not noisy and invasive. I've noticed that, too. You must have done some training in this area, because they slip in, slip out, and just take care of you.
They are wonderful. I mean, you know how important it is to treat. They're not our staff. They're our family. They're an extension of our family. We cannot run our business without them. We want this to be fun for them, and we include them in all the decision making and why we treat our customers the way that we do, why we do certain things in a restaurant. And a lot of them have been veterans in the restaurant industry forever. And what we found out in the beginning of holding our staff meetings or team meetings, that a lot of them didn't understand the reasoning behind certain rules in the restaurant, and in terms of waste or what was important for customer service. And once we started explaining that to them, it was amazing. And when we started empowering them to give us suggestions, because they're out there, they're on the front line for us, and they're hearing what the customers like and what they don't like. So when they're involved, it's wonderful. And they see us. We go in there. There's nothing we would ask them to do that we ourselves don't do. So we're just one big happy family. And I love that. I love hearing that people love our staff. We have the best staff. We just love them.
You know, it's so important. We've been through a thing or two in business, Rose. We've had some pretty interesting lessons over these years in life. And one of the core things that I always come back to is just the difference networking made in my professional and personal life. Yeah. Because it allowed me to, once I realized that it's not really about business, it is, but it isn't. It's about those core relationships, because it gives you a nice, safe, if you're networking well, it gives you a nice, safe environment to ask questions. And what I see so often is one of the biggest problems that we have in business today, because we're not networking, I think it's directly related, when we're, as a business owner of, you know, the 80% that we represent, for instance, we're family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. We're raising our children, we're taking care of our parents. We are either impacted by a veteran's skill and discipline that makes us really, really strong in business, or possibly they're struggling with reintegration. They may have some, there might, in your family, you might have an addicted teenager. That's definitely something that I see across the board. It's a big problem in America today. And those things impact us in business.
Absolutely,
and
they
so
do.
if we're trying to wear every single hat in our company and do it all ourselves, and then you get a curveball like that, and I promise you're going to get a curveball like that.
You are.
Or like you were telling me earlier about when you had a store and the roof collapsed right after you purchased it. If you're not networking, if you don't have these relationships that you've built on a foundation of friendship and respect, who do you rely on? You don't have a safety network, and it's a very dangerous place to be.
I preach constantly about you must build relationships in order to build your business. It's not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
You have got to form those relationships. When I'm in networking groups, and I just did an article for LinkedIn. I wrote a little article about this, networking with integrity.
Okay.
And it's really about when you walk into that room, you may not be able to do business to business with all of those people in there, but I really, really encourage people, don't focus on that one person that you think that you can do business with. Focus on the entire room. Use everybody in that room as your sales force, because I guarantee you everyone in that room knows somebody, or that somebody knows somebody that can use your business.
And you need to be the one they're referring, and if they don't know you, they will not.
They're not going to. I will tell you, networking with integrity is all about getting to know a person. I may not need your service, but I need to know for today, but I need to know someone who has. I need to know that you're showing up, that you are not just an infomercial, that it really is a give and a take. So again, building those relationships in order to build your business is key. I mean, it is key.
It really is. And the Offbeat Business Show and Magazine is all about being that B4B resource. Because what we want to make sure we're doing, and what we recognize is that it doesn't really matter what kind of business you run. If you are a hairdresser or a restaurant owner or a media company or a plumber or whatever, a business coach, whatever it is that you're doing, I'm still going to be better in some areas than others. Right?
Absolutely.
And so is everyone else. And so if we can start leveraging the strengths of the team, we can start getting things done. And that will mean one of two things, won't it? It either means we're going to eventually hire you for that area where you're awesome at it and I suck at it and I'd just soon be great at it, so why don't you do it? Or our friendship is going to give me some advice and point me in the right direction.
And we've been there. You and I, we're prime examples of great connections, helping one another. We talked a little bit before the show through networking. It became clear to me when I owned my first business. I owned a Curves, and I was doing everything myself. A little bit it was about control, but a lot of it was about finances. What can we afford when we're first starting? And once it really was shown to me that, I could trust this individual to really do my books, that he was the professional, and by allowing him to take over the stuff that I didn't necessarily like or that it wasn't my strength, I could then focus on what I was good at, my customers, bringing in business, the marketing. It was amazing. And had it not been for networking, that would not have come to me.
It's just, that's how you amplify your business. That's how we get things done.
Absolutely.
Because largely, as long as you've got your nose to the grindstone, friends, you're not the best you. And that's not the reason, and a lot of times I go into the Parable of Talents teaching on that, because there's the two between Matthew and Luke, slightly different takes on it, but one thing that's a commonality is nobody went into town doubling their money and didn't impact the whole dang community. That entire community kicked butt, and the only one that didn't is the one that put it under the sand. We've got to start making sure that everything that we're doing in our business community is amplifying everybody else. If I know you, I'm going to share you. If I trust you, I'm going to use you for my own business.
You reap what you sow.
The
more you give, the more you're going to give back, and that. That's what I tell. We get new business owners, both of us, all the time, saying, give us some words of wisdom, or what can I do? And I just keep telling them, be good to others. Think about what you can do for other business people. It will come back to you tenfold. And that's what I encourage all business owners to do. When you're out networking and you're meeting these quality, integrity-driven business owners, really work with them. Set up brainstorming sessions. Really get out there and really try to get together and brainstorm on what's working for you, what's not working. sometimes when you're outside that fishbowl looking in, you can give better perspective. So you may see something at my restaurant that maybe I'm not seeing. You might have a great idea. The best thing a business owner could be is open to that suggestion. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that doesn't mean you listen to everything that you hear.
Absolutely not.
But it most certainly means you develop surround yourself with strong counsel and wisdom, and you can actually see that. Like one of the things you said is show up, be there, let people get to know you. You can't do that going once or twice. Now, granted, there are going to be times, as what I've gone through over the last couple of months, I haven't been networking as much, probably for about the last 2 to 3 months.
Life happens, and we need to expect that.
But if it weren't for those relationships, I wouldn't be in business today, because those things helped hold me up and get me through those times. Not only that, but those relationships, I've got a great, there isn't a day that I have that I don't have lots of people to be interacting with and seeing how can I serve you, how can I do this better because of that investment of going in and going into groups. And early on, I got some good advice from Jeff Klein, who had said, make sure you don't go networking everywhere. We're not telling you to throw your time away. We're telling you to explore your first little bit. It's going to feel like you just blew a bunch of money. It'll feel like that, but get your head out of that gear.
Then get selective.
Get selective, because you won't know unless you go and participate. And listen, when you go to your first meeting and you buddy up with somebody and you develop a relationship, ask them, hey, where else are you going? And start going to things that are getting a good referral for you, that give you some better ideas.
Absolutely.
I think.
And we can talk a little bit further about that. One of the things that I talk about, and I was in that article, was about one-on-ones. And I think we have to be very selective on the people that we do one-on-ones. I hate to call them one-on-nuns, but a lot of time that they are.
And it can
They
be.
are. When you sit down with someone and it's an infomercial, and then an hour's gone by and they go, all right, well, I got to get going.
Yeah, and actually I've been exposed to a couple of those myself. Hey, friends, are you enjoying this conversation with Rose Colarossi? Does she rock or what? I just have so much fun with her. And, friends, we're going to take a short break, and you're going to hear from some of our sponsors. But when we get back, we're going to carry on with this conversation, because Rose has even more to share with you as we shine a light on your business this holiday season. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show.
Are you running out of hot water halfway through your shower? Or even worse, having sewer water rising up in your drains? Don't panic. Help is only a phone call away. Family owned and operated, Gary's Quality Plumbing will make your plumbing repair issues hassle-free. My name is Steve Skinner, and my dad built his company with the idea of giving our customers the best possible service at a fair price. Gas, water, sewer, repairs, and new installs. We do it all, and we do it right. So give us a call at 972-424-6479. That's Gary's Quality Plumbing at 972-424-6479. And look for our ad in the Offbeat Business magazine. That's Gary's Quality Plumbing. You'll be glad you did.
You're on a mission to make a difference for your business, for your family, and for your community. And Philanthropy Focus can get you there safely for long-term success. Hi, my name is John Gilchrist, and I help small businesses and nonprofit organizations develop the fundraising plans to match the vision for your nonprofit's future. Many nonprofits struggle with fundraising, and without a sustainable revenue plan, they simply cannot fulfill their dreams and provide the much-needed services to the communities that they serve. Use my 30 years experience in fundraising strategy, board development, staff training, feasibility studies, and executive coaching to create the most successful nonprofit possible. The key is aligning your mission to your donors' passions. Philanthropy Focus develops the programs that can make your nonprofit's dream a reality for you and your clients. And I look forward to growing the nonprofit sector as your partner. Call me, John Gilchrist, with Philanthropy Focus at 469-215-1651. Fundraising strategy, planning, coaching, and success. Discover more at www.philanthropyfocus.net and call me today at 469-215-1651. Be sure to look for our ad in the Offbeat Business magazine.
And we're back. This is Susan Hamilton with the Offbeat Business Show, and we are talking with Rose Colarossi of 3 local Egg and Eyes here in the DFW area, in Carrollton, North Dallas, and Denton. We're discussing all the wonderful things you need to know over the holiday season about networking and how important these relationships are to actually growing your business. how to go about it. Before we went to break, you mentioned a phrase that I thought was really cute. We were talking about how important one-on-ones are to be strategic. Don't let those make you uncomfortable. You've got to do them. But you do need to be strategic about it. And you said because they can become one-on-nuns.
Yeah, they
can
become,
help us understand that.
Yeah, one-on-nuns. You've been there. We talked about this. Mm-hmm. Infomercial. The person across from you is just talking all about them. That is not a one-on-one. A one-on-one is trying to get to know that person personally, getting to know their business, what makes them tick, and them then allowing you to share your information and seeing how you can help one another and what people that you know out there that can help one another. I prefer to do groups. I just find that it really generates some brainstorming going on. I think people are less likely to be selfish, if I could say that, if there are other people around. And I think people will call them out.
So you don't necessarily do one-on-one.
I do not.
Oh, well, then I was one of the rare few that I got to say, because I love it.
I'm very selective.
We developed a friendship early on from a one-on-one, but
we did. No, you have to be selective. You know the people that are true, that are real. I'm always, my catchphrase is always, keep it real. And you are real. After years and years of doing this, you realize who's going to work and who's not. And through our one-on-one, which it was not a one-on-none, you have actually opened other doors for me. And that's what this is all about. If I could go back about something that we were discussing before about staff and then also listening to your customers.
Yes.
So we opened one of the Egg and I restaurants, our first Egg and I restaurants, in July of 2008. In October of 2008, the stock market crashed. People stopped going out to eat, and they certainly weren't going out to eat at restaurants that they had no idea who they were. And so our customers were seeing the struggles that we were going through, and I started listening to them. And a few of them said, you really need to start networking. And I said, well, I'm really trying. They said, no, you need to go to networking groups. That was the first time I had ever heard of networking groups. And it was through networking groups that we were able to sustain our business. And it was also listening and doing some grassroots marketing, listening to people out there saying, wow, we need to do catering, especially at our Addison location where it's 90% business. I'm going around knocking on doors, introducing ourselves, and I'm watching how they're bringing in other restaurants for their in-house meetings. And so we started catering. And we do breakfast, we cater lunch, and we do breakfast for lunch. And people love that. Mm-hmm. So not only can you come in and eat, can you use the conference room, but through networking and hearing and listening to our customers, we realized we had to start doing catering. So listen to the people around you. Our catering business is huge. It is huge. People like something different from barbecue and pizza. So that's one of the things I just wanted to touch upon and go back.
Well, and I'm curious, as huge as that part of your business is, Rose, I want to know, can you afford more business? Do you need more?
Yeah.
Because what's exciting about what Rose is doing is here it is holiday season and catering is this big deal. And friends, you're going to meetings all the time. You're going to networking meetings. You're going to women's groups. You're going to gift exchanges and throwing this party and that party, and you need to pay attention to what we've said earlier about not wearing every hat in your business. That also means not providing all your own food. That'll make you nuts. And if you ask your friend down the street to do it, that she may do a really great job, but why not just get a wonderful catering?
We do it all.
Use you.
We do soup to nuts. What people love is that we are locally owned and operated.
Mm-hmm.
So it is our family. We're family owned. So we're making sure not only is the food quality high, but your customer service. And we're following up. And we're making sure that we make you look good. So if you're throwing that holiday party, or there's so many businesses around here that are bringing sales force. And again, what they're telling me over and over again is, we're tired of the same old barbecue and pizza. That's great. That's fine. But mix it up a little bit, and we can help you do that.
Give me some suggestions. So what are some of the things that are typically some of your...
Oh, let me tell you.
Some of your bigger pieces here.
So and we can do anything from 10 people, and we have a company that we do once a year. They have 7,000 employees. We work 17 hours straight. So we do shifts, and we cook pancakes on the site. We do Belgian waffles on the site. It's huge. So there is no job that's too big for us. So we can do big platters of Wisconsin scrambles or any type of cheese eggs. We can do platters of our pancakes. We can do on-site Belgian waffles. We can do breakfast sandwiches, breakfast tacos. You name it, we can do it. In terms of lunch, we can bring in sandwich platters. We can do a wide variety. We've got very, very nice signature sandwiches that are different from most, like our chicken apple walnut salad on raisin toast. We've got signature salads, like we both love my Greek salad.
Love it. So when you offer that, you bring
big
that in the great
bowls,
big...
or if they want platters, whatever they want, we can do it for them. We can do as much or as little as people want. So we offer that. And
so do you just bring the food, or do you come and wait on us? How does this look?
We can do whatever you want, whatever your budget is. And typically what we'll do is you can contact me or one of our GMs, and they will say, okay, what is your budget? And we'll work back from that. Do you want us to just bring it there and set it up, or do you want us to serve it? So we can do as much, again, or as little as you want. Another thing I wanted to mention is we're all about giving back. And I know you feel the same way. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of fundraising for churches and schools.
Oh, great.
So that, if there's a particular date that the school will advertise and people come in and mention their school or their church, we give back a percentage of the sales for that day or for that week. We're very involved in My Possibilities, which is a nonprofit for adults with disabilities. We do that give back once a year, and we are also involved in their Santa Run, where we go out and we promote them and we give food away. So we're always trying to give back, and that really gets us involved with the community, which is very important. You have to give back to your community. They're the ones that are supporting your business.
Yeah, it's so huge because customers today, they're wise to what's going on and they're paying attention. For instance, in my neighborhood, we've got one of the largest politically active neighborhoods in Richardson, and these people pay attention, and if you pay attention to nextdoor.com at all, I encourage everybody not to get involved in every conversation because sometimes that gets a lot out of hand, but keeping your ear to the ground to help you understand what people are really talking about. Yeah. One of the things, our neighborhood's a little older, so all the homes have been purchased, and a lot of the people are really they are only paying their property taxes every year. Well, they are extra concerned about the community, about the restaurants, and about the people that come around them, and they want to know. And man, one negative thing to say can shoot the whole neighborhood into going. They can shut you down in no time. But it's the same on the other end of the spectrum. They can really build you up when they know that you are their advocate. And really, honestly and truly, that's all they really need to know is, are you there for me? Are you going to take care of my people? I don't have to be embarrassed when I go to your store that that wait staff might be be tacky.
Well,
right?
They know that you are the blood of our business.
Yeah.
I mean, we're nothing without our customers. So customer service is number one for us. We're serving, people ask us, how many eggs do you serve in a restaurant in a year?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's about 1.5 million eggs.
Holy moly, that's a lot of eggs.
So it may even be more now. So are we going to have one egg dish that's going to come out and it may not be over easy? It may be over meat. Absolutely, that's going to happen. But what people know at our place, all you have to do is tell our server, grab our manager, grab someone. They will run back there and they will fix it without even questioning, because the customer needs to be happy. And that's why we have such a great following. The food is awesome, but they also know that they're going to be treated with respect, and they know that if something is not to their liking, we want to make them happy.
Well, also you are involved in like you mentioned, My Possibilities. You're not we got a connection here between our businesses and our community, because we know we can make a difference, and we know that when we are making more money and doing our very best in business, the entire community prospers, and that includes all the organizations that we want to support. It's so huge. I just feel a big sense of urgency for that, Rose.
I agree.
I really do. That's not a small thing. If you are a business owner and you've got something on your heart that you know that you wish you could impact, if you just had the time or you just had the money, I want to encourage you.
You have the time, you have the money, you can do it.
You may not. If you don't, do everything you can, because now you have a new drive and motivation. that you can have the time and the money if you
Well,
don't
when I
today.
say you do,
Yeah.
it's you may not have the money, but you have the time. If you don't have the time, find something. Even if it's not monetarily, give something. Give a service. Do something or anything to help your community, which, if I may, is a great segue to how networking works, how helping somebody else. So Susan and I, we met through networking. Susan knew Robin Robertson, connected the two of us. It had been heavy on my heart to do something on radio to cast awareness about what is happening in our community in terms of the homeless, domestic abuse, child abuse, anything. Any social issue that needs to get awareness.
And while this is a big deal right now during holiday season, these needs are out there
constant.
all year long.
They're constant.
Yeah.
So I started the radio show Hope Through Conversations on Pegasus Netwaves, which we're on right now. And Hope Through Conversations, I have people on free of charge that are part of nonprofits or they have a social issue they want to talk about, such as I had a mom on that had a Down syndrome child, because we were out one day and she said, I have to do this, I have to do that. People don't realize what a mom goes through. And I said, they don't. So why don't you come on the show and let us know? We've had Metro Relief on. We've had a nonprofit, Water Tower Theater. People don't realize Water Tower Theater is a nonprofit. It's all about community outreach and education. So
that's wonderful. I was just going through the brochure because you've put me on that mailing list
now.
So I get that, and I was looking through that just this last weekend.
Yeah, and then through Hope Through Conversations, Robin and I started partnering, and one of the things that I saw when we were out networking, again, listen to what's going on. Women want low-cost advertising and PR, so why not offer them a 30-minute show that is revolved all around them, their business, their product. So we're having people sign up already. It's called We Radio, or Women Entrepreneur Radio. 30 minutes. It's $150. Then they get the MP3 upload. It is amazing. They can put that on all of their social media platforms. None of that would have happened if you and I hadn't had our true one-on-one, been open-minded at networking, and you were not so giving in helping me find other outlets. So I do appreciate that. I know I've thanked you many, many times, but that's
and back at you. You know, I like to surround myself with people that really are getting things done in this community, because I think that and one of the other purposes, of course, of the Offbeat Business Show and Magazine is to shine a light on things that are working right in American business today, because when we see that, it's easy to duplicate it. It's easy to say. I mean, how many of you have done that? You go into you see something getting done, you go, oh, that's what that looks like to do.
Yeah.
And now I can do that, and I hope that that's the example that we set here with the Offbeat Business Show.
You
and
do.
Magazine.
It's excellent.
Rose, tell us how people can reach you.
So we have a website. It's the Egg and I Restaurants, with an S, plural.com. You can go on there and see our menu. And we also have Facebook pages. So it's the Egg and I Restaurants Addison, the Egg and I Restaurants West Plano Carrollton, the Egg and I Restaurants Denton. You can reach us any of those ways. Our phone numbers are on there. And just reach out. If you have catering, you have a meeting room need, we're a great place to have one-on-ones, or we're a great place for Mother's Day. So we'd love to have you in. Yeah.
Rose, you mentioned the 2 radio shows.
Yeah.
Can I get you to plug those before we say goodbye today?
Yeah. So both are on Pegasus Netwaves. The first is Hope Through Conversations. You can go to our Facebook page and find more information about that. And then We Radio, again, on Pegasus Netwaves, and that's Woman Entrepreneur. But if you go to We Radio on Facebook, there'll be more information on there as well. You can also go to lafemmefocus.com.
One of the premier women's networking groups
incredible.
in the Dallas area.
If ladies, you want to find a great networking group, La Femme Focus is the way to go. So all the information is on there. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Friends, as I mentioned to you before, we represent the 80% of American small business that are family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. That means we understand that you're probably building your business while you're taking care of your kids, taking care of your parents, taking care of a veteran, and your life is busy. And so we try to respect that by giving you something short and actionable, 20 minutes over lunch on Tuesday, and then the replays to follow that allow you to come away with a light bulb moment, something that inspires you to kick some serious butt in American business today, because we are the 80%. We do have a voice that matters, And when we know that there's a real purpose to shine in our business because we can make a difference and our voice does count, friends, then we know we're doing our job, and that's what we're all about. So if you are interested in learning anything about using media, the media platforms that are required today to develop an authoritative reputation, a strong brand, you need to reach out to me. You can find me, Susan, at offbeatbusiness.com. You can also find our upcoming shows, our replays, our digital magazine, our articles, and all of our fine sponsors at offbeatbusiness.com. Until next time, this is Susan Hamilton. Thank you so much. You've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show.